Hello, everyone, and welcome. It is April, and we are just moving into May, so we're recording our May monthly message, and we have some exciting conversation that we're going to be talking about because in this last month, in our own backyard in Cranbrook in BC, we had the wonderful Crown Managers Partnership Water Forum. And for those of you who don't know Crown Managers Partnership, I didn't know Crown Managers Partnership. This is a collaborative process where it's about bringing peoples together to share learning, to share conversation. And as you know, we are all about Barry Razin's wonderful quote to me about how do Rotarians make peace happen? Peace happens one conversation at a time. That was his answer to my question. And so this Crown Managers Partnership is such a beautiful example of one conversation at a time, where the conversation is focused on some very real challenges in the park and beyond. And in the park, we're talking about the first peace park in the world, Waterton-Glacier. So it's actually two parks, one in Canada and one in the US. And this year was very exciting because for the first time hosting this were 13 tribal nations, I believe. And David, you're going to tell us more about that. I want to introduce to you who we have with us. David Savage is a director of Waterton-Glacier International Peace Park, and he is the chair of the Conservation and Environment Action Team. And we have Jen Dalrymple, and Jen is also a director of Waterton-Glacier International Peace Park, and she is chair of the Indigenous Peoples Engagement Action Team. So both of you were at this incredible forum, and I just can't wait to hear what you have to tell us about it. David, I'll send it over to you.
Thanks, Maria. And yes, Jen and I and Linda Cousineau and Cheryl Kreitch and Jeff Mao, who are active on at least one or more of the action teams of Waterton-Glacier International Peace Park Association. We attended and represented and learned a lot at the Water Forum for the Crown Managers Partnership. Now, the Crown Managers Partnership is a diverse collection of people with shared interests in a very complex ecosystem. Generally, if you look at the Waterton and Glacier National Parks, the International Peace Park, and extend those boundaries by, say, 200 miles each way and 360 kilometers, that's the crown of the continent that we're talking about. Very complex, many divergent interests, very divergent ecosystems. And as Maria says, this is one conversation at a time. At the forum on the Nation, Akim Band of the Tanaha Nation, April 20, last week, anyways, we were given the opportunity to learn more from the knowledge holders of the Tanaha Nation, the Salish, the Blackfeet, the Stoney Nakoda. There was 13 indigenous entities represented there, plus a number of environmental NGOs. And we learned a lot. We were encouraged to touch the water, connect with the rocks, learn a lot about fire protection, fire resilience. And we heard many incredible speakers with respect to water and largely fire. So it was an opportunity for us to firstly listen, as my mentor and team member, Jeff Mao, and former superintendent of Glacier, keeps telling us, meet the Indigenous peoples where they are, and you will learn a lot. So a fair part, Jen, of this was be quiet, listen, engage. Coming from that, I guess I was really thrilled that there was several outcomes. There was a number of Indigenous peoples, parks people that I hadn't met before. There was a number that I reconnected with due to my work with the Akim Band in the past. And many open doors, many contact information shared. So the win for them is they know more about our association now, and some want to engage more, including our assembly in September. And also the win for me is learning more about and reconnecting to this spiritual practice of the ecosystems and embracing what the indigenous peoples have always held. I guess before I turn it over to Jen, I guess the last comments that we talked about with our conservation and environment action team meeting late yesterday with the organizers, Brad Romaniak of Parks Canada and others who were co-chairs, is yes, there's still a real underlying tension because historically and today there's still tension between the indigenous peoples, the non-indigenous peoples. This isn't a clear road. The point is simply to listen and listen and listen. And the co-chairs, Tara Carlin and Brad Romaniak, on each side of the border, said as they plan for next year, which I know I'm going to attend, I know Cheryl wants to attend, and I think Linda and Jen and Jeff will be there in Montana. We're pushing for an even smaller tables like the Rural Cafe style, where we can have these key questions, key challenges and opportunities. And from a broad, diverse perspective, keep building this. Because in a 3-day forum, you can't cover, and sometimes the energy drops. So that's our task, and that's their task, is to keep the conversation building between the forums and make it even more inclusive for a broader range of perspectives.
And what a beautiful opportunity for the assembly to be part of the conversation, the continued conversation here. That's very exciting for me to hear. That's wonderful. Jen, we'd love to hear your discoveries off of this time in
Thank you, Maria. Thank you very much for the words, David. I just want to echo that the Crown Managers Partnership has been going on for a while, but as David said, they didn't have a large voice. So last year at the 2023 Crown Managers Forum, they held it at the Blackfeet Nation, and it literally was titled Indigenous Leadership in Honoring and Caring for the Crown of the Continent Ecosystem. And so what they tried to do is they were bringing more of the indigenous thoughts and words and positive to have those 13 tribes represented this year, and then to have the Ktunaxa Nation host it up there in the Ockham area, or in Cranbrook with the Ockham. But I think that for us, it's getting to things like this. Our story. I don't know if you can read it. This is a leaflet put out by the Confederate Salish and Kootenai tribes for Lake County, and it's listening to them, it's getting their story, and also being progressive. They talk about how it's not just celebrating the old ways, but shaping the opportunities for economic growth and wise use of all the tribal resources on their nation. And I think that is what was echoed by a good number of the tribes that were there. Larger projects that these tribes are taking on in their nations, in their lands, such as the reintroduction of the freshwater sturgeon, the whitebark pine reforestation programs of the Salish Kootenai on the west slope of the Crown of the Continent. So I think if we could listen and learn from them and grow that and have that melding of the two groups, the old ways and then the new technology, then it will do nothing but benefit the Crown of the Continent itself. And then, of course, that then falls back and helps benefit what we're looking for, which is preserving the parks and our history, the Rotary history in those parks, and keeping that International Peace Park going. So I felt it was very, very interesting, beneficial, and very
Yeah, the continued peace between our nations, part of our peace pledge that we take every time we're at assembly. One what I love about that is it's not just our nations, US and Canada, it is all of our nations. And this is such a big step forward. And to me, it's a no-brainer that we must hear the wisdom and respect the wisdom. And I love what Jeff Mao says about it's all in the listening, because that's where the best conversations happen, is in the listening, not the talking. So I'm looking forward to hearing where the conversation leads. I know, David, you and Cheryl led us in World Cafe, what was it, two assemblies ago, when we were in Great Falls. So we know, we as Waterton-Glacier International Peace Park Association know the power of how to use those conversations so that we can all be listening and hear the nuggets that are coming. So I look forward to that progression in the conversation as well, and just learning more. Here's the
Maria,
thing.
if I could add a couple of comments about that is, you know, as we develop and mature, we learn that projecting our perspective isn't always the healthiest thing to do, but listening. So we're learning that over and over. And it's just a reminder that, yes, we are nearing the 100th anniversary of our Waterton Glacier International Peace Park, which has been a gift to the world and inspiration. And the indigenous peoples of many of them have claimed Waterton and Glacier for thousands of years. And the ecosystems predates them. So we need to not only look 7 generations forward, but recognize this is very complex, that the more we can listen together, including park advocates, environmentalists, and indigenous peoples who sometimes don't have the same perspective, we certainly understand our shared interests of preserving and protecting and connecting.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. So if you want to be part of the conversation, if you are a Rotarian in District 5360, 5370, 5390, or 5080, then come join us. Any Rotarian in good standing in any one of those 4 districts is welcome to join us at the assembly. In fact, you are a voting member of the association just by being a Rotarian in any one of those 4 districts. We will be meeting this year in East Glacier Park. It will be a beautiful setting. There's a wonderful program being planned. Go visit watertonglacierpeacepark.org, our website, for updates. And you'll also see there when registration begins. I will put that link into the description of this video, as I always do. I want to thank both of you, not only for representing us so well, but for being at the helm of these 2 very important action teams. Really, the work that you are doing is quite remarkable. And beyond this particular forum, I know, David, your action team has been working to ensure that we have safe passage in the parks, that both superintendents have asked you to help with educational videos. Those videos are now up on the same website, watertonglacierpeacepark.org. We invite you to take a look at those videos. If you are thinking about hiking in the parks, please go to those videos, because we want to make sure that you have a safe engagement with the environment, and that you are well taken care of in the environment. And Jen, I know you are doing a lot of work as well with the Indigenous Peoples Engagement Action Team. And if any of you feel called to work in either one of those places, I know these 2 individuals would dearly love to hear from you. Everyone is welcome to be part of these action teams. We are people of passion that literally put the boots on the ground, and we're running. So again, thank you to both of you for all that you do. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to put a comment in the video, or contact us directly. We would love to hear from you. Until next month, much love to you all. Namaste.
Thank you, Maria.
Thank you, Maria.
Thank you.